Hello everyone, this is Akash Chauhan once again, and in today's video session we are going to build a Java project based on a JDBC driver, MySQL connector and MySQL server. So in our previous video we have already seen how to access the data stored in the form of table in the MySQL server, and how to insert data into MySQL server as well. But that work was manual, so we want to do some scripting work through Java. So in order to have this project in Java, we need to install Eclipse. Okay, so I am assuming that you have already installed Eclipse. If you have not installed the Eclipse, please pause this video and please install Eclipse or any other IDE I have mentioned in the previous video, like VS Code and IntelliJ. Okay, I recommend you to use Eclipse if you are not aware about the Java that much. So let's start. How to first create a Java project, and then we will write Java code including some SQL queries written in Java, which would be converted into SQL further and will be executed at the MySQL server. So we don't need to do much of the complex tasks. The benefit is the Eclipse would do most of the jobs for us. So first let me open the Eclipse, and let's first create a Java project. So I'll create a Java project. Go to the file. Once you install, you would have your all the projects at the package explorer. You would open your code over here, you write your code over here, and the output of your code would you can see over this console over here, this area. So first what I need to do, I need to create a Java project. So the very first option inside new is Java project. So let's say I'm creating a Java project. Let's say the name of the Java project is JDBC project. Okay, that's fine, I hope. Go to the next. We don't need to do much changes in that. We don't need to create module information. If you want to add some information for the another developer which would see what is going through the entire code and what is the logic behind, you can write something. We don't need to create. So as you can see, we have created this JDBC project. Okay, we have src folder. Okay, in that you please create a package. Let's say JDBC MySql work. So we are going to write code inside this package. The benefit of using packages, if you have another, let's say we are going to use JSP, so you can create another package of JSP and you can write Java code in that package only. So later on, if you come to this project, you would see, okay, you have written code in JDBC MySQL work. This is the package. Okay, so before creating the Java code, what we need to do, as you can see in the in this I have mentioned that after creating the Java JDBC project, okay, you need to complete 4.1 step, which is over here. So this step is saying that you need to add the JDBC connector. I have already mentioned you earlier that we need JDBC driver or the MySQL connector in order to convert the Java into SQL and SQL into Java. Okay, so you just need to click over this link. Okay, or you can directly go to this dev mysql.com and download connector JConnector. Okay, if I would not be able to upload this link because the Udemy wouldn't allow us sometime to provide the link to the student. So let me open it for you. So as you can see, we have to download this MySQL connector Java zip file. So I'll download it. I'll show you. Go to no thanks and store it somewhere where you can remember it. So I have stored it into my documents libs, and this is the zip file, as you can see over here. So I'm not going to download it once again. I have already downloaded it. Just make sure once you download it, let's say this is the download folder, you please make sure that you extract it. So if you are using Windows, you have to right click and click on this extract here. In case of Mac, you just need to double click and it will extract the folder for you here. So we are interested in this jar file. We need to add this jar file into a project build path. Okay, so we will see where is the project build path, but I hope it is clear that we need to add this jar file, this MySQL connector to our project, because we need to convert our Java based statement into what? MySQL statements. So without any further ado, let me add this jar file into the project build path. And where do you find the project build path? I'll show you. Right click on your project and go to this build path option, and you will find configure build path option over here. So here in module path inside library, we have different source, project, library tabs. You go to the module tab and click on this add external jar. So you click on add external jar and reach to that jar file. So I have downloaded it inside the as you can see over here, this. So simply add this jar, open it, and it will be added into this. Apply and close. Okay, so we have package, we have set the project according to our need. Okay, we have set the project. Okay, this part is done. Okay, this part is done. Okay, we have done with these two parts. Fine. We have created an package inside, okay, the src folder as well. Now let's create this sample.java file. Okay, so we know the name of the file. You can choose any name. It just, I have used the same name over here in Java file as well. Make sure that this is the basic rule of Java. If the name of the public file is different from the file name of your Java file, then you wouldn't be able to execute the code. So make sure, if you are not going to use public class, it is fine. You would have only one public class. So if you are using public class, make sure the name of the class and the name of the file should always be exactly same. So I have written the same name. Make sure that you would also have the same name. You can change the name, just make sure that at both places you are going to use the same name. So let's say I am going to create the same name file over here. So you go to the package, right click, go to the new, and then class. You have to go to the class. Simply write sample class, and we make sure that it should contain main method, because main method is something in Java which would control the entire file code. Because if you have not written the execution flow inside main method, then those lines will not be executed. So make sure that you would have the main method. You can write by yourself, or the Eclipse would write for you. So you can tick this box and finish it. So by now we are finished with the basic structure of the project we are going to make, and we are interested in making, I hope you remember this. We have inserted some data into the database, we have fetched the data. We are now interested in to do this work through Java, not manually. Okay, and again we have entered into the SQL server using MySQL, that is statement with password and username. We don't want to do it manually. Okay, we want to do it through code. So this is what we are going to build. I hope this is clear. So what we need to do in order to do that, we need three interfaces. The first one is connection. Let's say the name of this would be the second one is statement, STM, and the third one is result set. Right? Okay, the error is cannot. Okay, oh, the problem is I cannot leave it like this. I cannot just simply leave it like this. Okay, still the problem. Oh, I have not imported it. Okay, what is the problem? Connection cannot be resolved type. Oh, sorry. The problem is I'm writing inside main method. This is not so. I have to mention it over here and then import it. Okay, again there is a problem. I hope we have added the build path. We have added the jar file. Everything seems fine to me. Everything is fine. Oh, the problem was with the spelling. Connection. Okay, yeah. So the problem with the spelling. statement, we have to import these individually from the SQL package. Okay, yeah, and after that we are going to use some username as well, right? Username, string, password, and we are going to use some URL as well. Okay, so the username to access our database would be I have already told you it would be root. Okay, and the password would be a root, if you remember. Okay, and URL, I think I can write it inside it, the main as well. So no, I think I have to write it over here only. URL would be, I hope, URL. Okay, I have not used the URL, that's why it is showing the error. So URL would be, I have to provide, okay, I'm going to use JDBC driver and I'm going to use MySQL server. This information I need to provide, and then I need to provide the database URL. So inside this MySQL, what database I'm going to use? So I'm going to use localhost. I need to provide the port number. So this is the standard port number to run your MySQL server. Okay, so whenever the server would run, it requires some kind of a port. So 3306 is the default port number for MySQL server. Localhost is the IP address of my MySQL server. Instead of localhost, you can write even this IP address 127.0.0.1, I guess. But instead of IP address, I'm going to use localhost, and then the name of our database is, if you remember, the database name is JDBC database. So I'll provide the JDBC database name. That is fine. What is the problem, man? URL. I don't know what is the problem. It is saying syntax error. Okay, just leave it for a while. So I know now, okay, I have provided the basic information. Now it is time to create the connection. So we have this connection and interface over here. I need to use driver manager class, and here we have this get connection in which we are going to use URL at first place, uname at the second place, and the password at the third place. So it will create a connection for us. Okay. So the thing is, I cannot write this code directly. I need to write this code in try catch block because this is sensitive code and it may break during the connection as well, right? So I need to, and the second thing is add through declaration. Okay, I need to complete this catch exception, so it will handle the exception if the exception would occur. So exp.print trash. Okay, and we need to close these as well. Finally we need to close these. Okay, so it would be connection dot close. So the connection is null. URL, uname, password. What is the problem with string URL? I don't understand. Okay, what is the problem now? Finally, dot close. stm dot close. rst dot close. So we need to close these statements as well. Probably I need to throw the exception as well. What is the problem, man? Try catch block connection. driver manager get connection. Okay, we can do that. It will provide the connection. Driver manager. Okay, where is the mistake I'm doing? Driver manager did got connection. This is my connection. Okay, let me just simply run it, and it will, some of the problems will be resolved. Okay, so string, let me put this entire thing into main. Okay, and now what is the problem? Okay, what is the problem, man? Okay, most probably we cannot, I think, write these. Oh, okay, I think that was the problem. The problem is we cannot simply provide this value to these. Okay, the null we cannot define, okay, as a global variable in this scope, so we have to write it into the local scope, and then this would also go close. What is the problem, man? Undefined exceptions connection. What is the problem? Okay, so we don't close it. Okay, just leave it like this. Okay, so far it's fine. Now let's create statement STM from this connection. So in that there is a simple create a statement option, and this STM will further be used to store the result RST. From this STM there is an option called execute query, and in that I write the query select star from JDBC underscore TBL. Okay, I hope this is the name of the table. Yeah, so this is the table we have already created through terminal. Okay, so this is all, and now we need to iterate through this result set. So this rst dot next would help us. So I am not going to write the entire statements. So what I'll do, I'll simply copy, because this is the system out print statement. So what I'll do, I simply copy paste. This is myST, this is, in our case, this is RST. So we can access the individual column for individual row. So for the first row, the entire data of the first row will be printed, because what we are going through this RST and get string means in this let's say in this table we are accessing JDBC first row, and we are accessing this first, then we are accessing this, then we are accessing this, then we are accessing this. Okay, so this would print the data from the table. Okay, so we next we will insert the data, but first let's get the data. Access denied, why access denied? Oh, okay, so in my case the password is not root. In your case the password would be root. In my case it is different. So let me run once again. Java application, you right click. Okay, so now we are able to see. Okay, we can cross check this data from the terminal as well. I hope the terminal is open. So Okay, so the same data we could access. So we, in order to execute this, we need to enter into MySQL, give the password and everything. And in Java, we are simply right clicking on the program and simply doing. We are not writing the redundant code. Okay, so it is simply doing that. So now what I need to do is, let's insert the data. So in order to insert the data, STM would have the another function which is execute query, I think execute update. So the execute update is the so, and here I'll write the statement, insert statements, or I copy with the table name. Okay, so we have 19, so I need to provide the next column. Okay, so I need to put this after this because it would not get the updated data. Okay, generally we have to close these connections over here, but I don't know what is the problem. Connection dot close. Okay, now it's working. It is saying, okay, yeah, now it's working. Add throw declaration. Okay, so we need to throw this because we need to this might also throw some exception connection. What is that? No, this is fine. Okay, I'll show you why we need to close this connection. First, let's insert the data, and now the data would be till 20th. You right click and simply run. So this last row is inserted by this code, and then the data is getting fetched from the database. Okay, and at the end, make sure that you would always close these interfaces. It is always recommended RST, otherwise it would access the unnecessary memory from your of your cache, and everything will be busy. So make sure that you will close all these statements. So I'll give you the brief once again, that driver manager class would have this function get connection. It requires 3 parameters. The one is URL. URL would include what kind of driver you are going to use, what type of server you are going to use, the server IP and the port number, and the database you have created. Then username to access that database and the password to access that database. You can create the statement which is required further to execute the query and execute the update. So execute query would not be able to manipulate the data. As you can see, this is just fetching the data, but this execute update query, this method would insert the data into the MySQL database. Okay, if I simply run this command once again, it would print till 20. Okay, so we have achieved that goal, that we are able to fetch the data from Java and insert the data as well. Okay, so as if you want to know if it is successfully, I'll show you one thing. The value of a would also be printed if this statement, as you can see, if this would execute your query successfully, it would either return I'll show you what it would return in case of successful execution. I'll show you. Okay, so we need to make it 21 because it would already have 20. So as you can see, it is returning 1. Okay, so in case of successful completion of this, it would return 1, and in case of unsuccessful insert, it would return 0. So if it is returning 1, it means we have inserted the data successfully, we have manipulated the database. So this is all we meant to cover in this video. Okay, if you have any query, you can comment down below, or you can message me. I'll help you out. And please, I advise you to pause this video and write code by yourself like I have written. You can copy little statements which is redundant, but most of the code you should write by yourself, especially these things, these methods you should remember. Okay, so I hope this is you're clear with this concept, and I'll upload this PDF for your reference, so don't worry about that. You can directly copy some of these statements from there as well. So this is all for this lecture, and I hope you get the understanding, and thank you so much and have a good day.